Borichinha, Paulo Costa fights Roman Kopylov. And AJ, this is another one that I feel like the UFC says, hey, we need another name to kind of catapult this card, to give it a little bit of extra star power, because when this card was originally being built, it wasn't that prominent. A lot of people said this was an incredibly weak card for the pay-per-view portion. But now that you got Paulo Costa, all I'm seeing is a springboard for Roman Kopylov finally getting real opportunity. If you take a look at the last five, the Fluffy Hernandez loss, that did hurt his trajectory. We can't lie. Hernandez, he took some of that limelight. He went into the rankings where Kopylov should have been. Then you beat Cesar Almeida, you beat Chris Curtis, get that walk-off finish, that third round finish right here, and then you get Costa. Costa, in skill, let's be real, man. You got wins in the UFC. I mean, the most notable wins, Uriah Hall, Yoel Romero, Luke Rockhold. That's the only thing of note to talk about. So we're really just saying Roman Kopylov, a hungry young prospect, 34 years old, I shouldn't say young, but a hungry prospect who's fighting a name in Paulo Costa right here. How does Paulo Costa bounce back from those losses to Robert Whittaker and Sean Strickland against a kickboxing machine in Roman Kopylov here?
I think he needs to get back to his roots right here, Derek. I was thinking of the game plan for Costa, right? We've seen him where he can be timid. He can be looking to hit the counter with that big shot because he's a very, very powerful, phenomenal striker. But if those opportunities never present, right, and he stays on the back foot because he has a little bit slow start, a little bit low output, he really finds himself behind the eight ball. So he needs to get back to that marauder style, right? Gain the respect that a lot of people had, because when Paulo Costa started off in the UFC, people thought he was just an absolute destroyer, right? And then he started facing top tier talent. The luster wore off a little bit. So Paulo Costa can go in there and just absolutely put a dog walk in on Roman Kopylov, be the one that shoots or be the one that fires first, fires third, and just walk this dude down the entire time and impose your will on him. That'd be the best output for Paulo Costa. The output or the actual volume he presents, I think, is what's going to be his main detriment right here, especially with a very decorated striker that Kopylov is.
And that's what's funny, man, is because if you look at his stats, significant strikes, 6.22 per minute, I don't think that's telling the same story from what you see visually, especially in his last couple of performances right here. Maybe some ground and pound type stuff, like that's where you could stat pad a little bit. But where we're watching him, that's the biggest problem, is he just doesn't throw as much as you need him to throw. And in a matchup right here against Kopylov, where, let's be real, Robert Whittaker, not a takedown threat. Sean Strickland, not a takedown threat. Luke Rockhold, I think Paulo Costa was the one taking down Luke Rockhold right here. He might try to go the grappling route against Roman Kopylov, because I do see that being a better approach than just trying to kickbox with him. But then again, we've seen Kopylov can do a little bit of wrestling himself. Where do you see grappling coming into this matchup?
I see a grappling when they get to the cage, right? I'm not expecting Paulo Costa to just be shooting blast doubles from the side, setting up takedowns. I see him putting that pressure on, closing the distance, and then grabbing in, working for a takedown or at least a grappling exchange in that sort, right? Cage control, get the fight down, because I do see where Paulo Costa can get himself to an advantageous position. But what worries me is the upfront two there. How's the gas tank going to look? What kind of entrances are you having? There's a lot of worries that come out of the striker that is called Roman Kopylov, and we haven't seen the polish that Paulo Costa needs to be able to get past that.
That's fair. I have seen a couple of holes in Costa's game that I don't really enjoy. Another one, defensively walking straight back in a linear pattern, straight line, and having a little bit of a problem dealing with that southpaw left hand and that left kick right there, which are exactly the weapons that are going to be coming at him from Roman Kopylov right here. So again, I like Roman Kopylov. I think that the numbers right here is actually a fair line. Minus 265 for Kopylov, plus 200 for Paulo Costa. I don't think it's overpriced. I think it's very fair. If anything, I think it's not a higher line given Paulo Costa's name. Do you agree, or am I discounting the performance of Costa too much here?
No, I agree with this, Derek, especially since this sport is a matter of what have you done for me lately. I do think Kopylov deserves to be the favorite in this, and with how we've seen him perform on paper, I do think he's also the favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. If Paulo Costa can apply pressure to Roman Kopylov and make his output wane, we could see a much more competitive fight, maybe open up some grappling. But again, the strike rate for Paulo Costa drops. I mean, historically, it drops pretty bad after about 10 minutes in the cage. So if this goes long, which the total on this is 2.5, over is minus 220 plus 168, I just think Roman Kopylov is the play. But I really, really like that over 2.5 at minus 220. How do you see it?
I like it too, Derek. I I think with the durability that Paulo Costa presents and how not necessarily like Roman Kopylov isn't powerful, but he does like to hit you with combos. He likes to set up his traps going forward. I think that's going to lead to a longer drawn out fight. I'm looking at the live odd right now. I just updated my page, minus 210 for the over 2.5. So people are seeing that. So people are really putting some money there, folks. I think that's the best play right here as well.
All right, that's fair. So Roman Kopylov, consensus pick on this one. Are you going any specific outcome, decision, money line? How do you see it?
I like the money line for Kopylov. It's a little hard to get some juice on it. So if you're looking to get that one going, I put that into a parlay. If you're looking to make money straight on this one, that minus 210 over and a half is the way to go. If you're looking to bet strictly on a fighter, Kopylov by decision is probably one of the better bets we're going to actually see.
All right, that's your consensus pick for the co-main event. Let's keep it rolling.